today. Now, the number of homeowners with mortgage arrears has leapt by almost a third in the past year. The Council of Mortgage Lenders also said the number of UK homes repossessed jumped to nearly 19,000. That's the highest level for 12 years. It predicts a total of 45,000 homes will be repossessed by the end of this year as borrowers struggle with higher interest rates.
I think the figures announced today are slightly below the forecast suggested, but again, you know, they compare very differently from the sort of repossessions we saw in the early 1990s, where something like 75,000 homes were repossessed in 1 year.
Well, let's get some views on that. Joining us from Central London now is Andrew Teacher. He's from the British Property Federation. Mr. Teacher, good to talk to you today. And do you agree with Caroline Flint there that these, of course, are very serious and sad situations, but historically, it's still a very small number of people whose homes are being repossessed or they're falling into mortgage arrears?
It may be a small number, but I mean, try saying that to anyone that's had their home repossessed. I think the effects are going to be massive, personally, for a lot of people. But I think the clear message from this to both Caroline Flint and to Grant Shapps, the Shadow Housing Minister, is really that ownership is not always the best course of action for people, and I think we need to start being a little more responsible in promoting home ownership as the only way forward. The government needs to really now look at promoting rental, promoting shared ownership, so that we don't see in the future more people getting into debt they can't afford to repay and having their homes repossessed.
So what are you saying, that people maybe shouldn't be buying their homes? Renting's a better option in this current climate?
Well, I mean, it's not to say that people shouldn't buy a house. It's simply that it's not the best course of action for everybody. You know, we had this debate all week about stamp duty and about, you know, whether stamp duty for first-time buyers should be taken away or not. But where that, you know, we're only talking about 1%. If you can't afford to pay that 1% stamp duty, you shouldn't be buying a house. It's irresponsible to be promoting ownership, to be promoting debt to people where, you know, they've not got a hope in hell of actually paying that back. And I think we need to stand up and actually, you know, be honest, be quite honest, and say, you know, in all situations, is ownership the right way forward for people?
Oh, well, who is promoting debt, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, over the last few years, we've seen a lot of imprudent lending by banks. We've, you know, when Northern Rock were last giving out mortgages, people were able to get 125%. So the minute you've left the bank with 125% mortgage, you're in negative equity. And, you know, I think now what we're seeing is the tip of the iceberg. And I think we now need to actually put our hands up and say, actually, guys, ownership is not always the best way forward. And I think the government's got a real opportunity here to work with the British Property Federation and its members to look at how we can build a branded rental sector. And full credit to Caroline Flint and her officials. They've been actually listening quite closely to what we've been saying on this. But I think it's clear that we need urgent action on this, and we need a way forward that's actually going to help people over the next 6 months.
OK, Andrew Teacher from the British Property Federation, thanks very much for your time. Let's get back to you, Colin.
Emma, thanks very much. There's more on Sky News on our website, skynews.com, including our Team GB web chat. Your chance to wish the squad